The National Journal of Human Resources Management has a number of publications they release. One of them is Canadian HR Reporter, and their lead story in a recent edition is that there's a talent shortage threatening growth, many CEOs sleepwalking through crisis. Now, this is not a vlog that's bashing CEOs. However, I'm filming this yet again to make the point, and I've shared this with you in past vlogs. Deloitte's done a whole bunch of research on the talent shortage that shows no signs of easing until 2030. We are missing millions of people globally for the positions that are most required for growth. And so why do I bring this up yet again? And it's not to talk about some of the complicated strategies that this particular publication emphasizes around globalization and immigration policies and understanding your global systems. I'm actually talking about some things that are much, much simpler and yet just as essential, and that we're often missing the mark on these easy things. And frankly, I don't know about you, but I often think about organizational systems in terms of if you can't do the easy things right, the bigger things are going to be that much more challenging. So as you can probably imagine, being a recognition expert, I'm going to talk about the challenges when you don't have a strong focus on your talent and valuing them. When people don't realize that they have meaningful work and that they're being cultivated into positions where they get a chance to continue to stretch and grow. And when you have organizations or even teams where there is not collaboration and that people do not feel that sense of belonging and community. Recognition is one of the easiest ways in which we can combat some of those challenges. And if you even just think about that in terms of your own work, the people that you've loved to work for, those bosses, the colleagues that you enjoy producing with, and when you give the most discretionary effort in addition to being most loyal, I bet you any money these are places where you felt valued and that you are recognized for your talent. So let's talk about some very simple things that we are not doing consistently that is going to allow you to keep and retain your best people and not be in that talent crisis. Number one, we need to have systems where we're recognizing people on a regular basis. If you have a collective group meeting, whether it's stand-up huddles or team meetings or annual general meetings, where does recognition fit in? If it doesn't fit, then your people don't know how they're contributing to all the other things that you're bringing up in those meetings, from organizational values to strategic priorities to milestone projects. Where do they fit? Number two, bring recognition to life through the customer's perspective. Whether those are your internal customers, such as if you're an HR department or IT, information technology, right through to if you serve external colleagues and partners. How are they expressing their acknowledgement and recognition? Great example of this is my family and I, we had not the greatest experience at a resort up north for my husband's 50th birthday. And when I spoke with the general manager, I don't know why I bothered to even spend the time, because you know what? He didn't spend the time going out and acknowledging and recognizing the people that I had tweeted and shared that we had a great experience. We had lots of challenges about our experience, but he focused all on those negatives as opposed to the many people that we had a positive experience and didn't go out and personally acknowledge. And that's the third piece that I want to say. Leaders, you need to be acknowledging people specifically. It matters coming from you. The research that we talk about where people leave bosses and not organizations, that is validated year over year, study over study. And although of course people can leave unethical organizations, they can leave for better opportunities, there's lots of reasons why people leave. The number one is they don't feel acknowledged, valued, and supported by their direct supervisor. You need to get out of your office and you need to go and acknowledge people. If you're a virtual team, you need to find ways of acknowledging those people. I was just speaking with a business owner of Steep Tea, a multi-million-dollar Canadian company. She personally writes thank you cards every single week to people who work for her, to partners, to her own staff. In fact, she has this really fun ritual where she'll handwrite a card and leave it on people's desks. You don't have to even be in the same building. You can use things like Slack and Yammer and all kinds of virtual technology to be able to acknowledge people on the fly. And so my last suggestion to all of you is invest in systems and tools where anyone can acknowledge, such as those virtual systems, such as having kudos cards, thank you cards, such as having even point systems where people can acknowledge and nominate people to be receiving of some kind of personalized gift or something that they select from a catalog, if that's what you have in place. Side note to that, gifts are actually only about 60% of people's preference of how they want to be acknowledged. You're going to get a lot farther with a verbal thank you, personal specific acknowledgement, or a written thank you card. So find ways in which you can acknowledge that and enable that for all the members of your team to be able to do that peer-to-peer as well. I hope you have found these tools and suggestions helpful, because there's no reason your company has to be one of the many in this global talent shortage. In fact, by you being the shining star in the midst of an environment where only 30% of people are actually engaged and satisfied at work, by you having an incredible team and organization, people in fact may choose to leave that organization and go to you. You may in fact be one of the few who don't have a talent crisis because you are that amazing a place to work. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Now, there's all kinds of tools and resources. In fact, there's a lot of infographics that you may find helpful to help spread this message about the importance of leveraging recognition to retain top talent. All you need to do is hop over to my website, to the Cool Stuff page, and you can have anything that's on there. My name's Sarah McVanel. Go out and recognize your talent today.